Good evening, everyone, and welcome to my locals. I like locals quite a bit because it feels like you're just in my living room. We're just having a conversation, and I get to sort of let my hair down, so to speak. I want to talk to you guys about something very important. I had a little bit of a Twitter rant today that technology is going to be the key to having a proper modern homestead. It is also going to be the key to food sovereignty and the key to not being a slave to your own property. Do you really want to work for 10 hours a day just to live on the poverty line? I certainly don't. I don't think you want to either. And I don't think a lot of people realize there's an option to learn how to produce technology themselves. When I say let's use technology, they think in terms of like being a consumer. I'm thinking in terms of being a producer, a designer, an originator. Sure, you can't build your own silicon chips. Well, there's one guy on the internet who did actually. It was pretty impressive, but that's very bizarre. But the silicon chips are not very expensive. You're not exactly betting the farm on it. You could buy a century's worth of supplies to have embedded sensors and embedded semiconductors and probably only spend a couple $100. A century for a couple $100. It's really, really cheap. This stuff is not expensive at all. What you can learn how to do is use what's called embedded computing. Embedded computing is all around you. The lights in this room all use embedded microcontrollers. They're programmed in something simple like assembly or C, sometimes C++. They're very basic. They're very rudimentary. College students learn how to program it. I teach high school students and middle school students how to program them. And if you learn how to program one of these microcontrollers, you'll have a tiny robotic brain that you can put into anything. I could put multiple of them into a plant bed and monitor soil moisture, air humidity, air temperature, right? Soil temperature. I can look at moisture saturation. I could look at gases that are exuded from the plants. I can measure oxygen. I can measure CO2. I can measure alcohol concentrations. I can measure all sorts of things. With a couple of dollars worth of chips, I can have my own automated system. Now, what do you have to know to do that? Now, take it from a guy who has launched stuff into space. I've won major competitions. I've had clearances. I've been around. I've done a lot with technology. Let me tell you, I can teach a high school and even a middle school student how to do all this stuff. All you need to know are a few simple things. First off, how to look stuff up online, how to Google. You ever gone into like a big Wikipedia hole and just look stuff up, get into the details? That's pretty much the research needed to learn a lot of the physical phenomena that govern these chips. Second, basic C programming. And when I say basic, I mean really basic C programming. I bought a $3 learning how to program in C book off of Amazon 10 years ago, and I've been using it ever since. Tutorials Point is also great. I think the modern student of C programming, you could just go to Tutorials Point, do a bunch of examples, figure stuff out. Third, is learn how to read a data sheet for a microcontroller. That's actually the hardest skill among all of these. It's just learning how to read the data sheet. But if you can do that sort of Wikipedia hole stuff, you can figure your way through it, but it's going to take some work. All right. And the fourth thing is algebra and some basic data processing. When I say data processing, I mean really understanding how to look at graphs. So those things aren't that hard. And that's why I could teach it to a middle school student, is because a lot of it isn't that hard. It's about time, it's about commitment, it's about having just some rudimentary interest in technology, in programming. Once you've designed your program in C, then it's time to solder it onto the board, or if you're using a development board, you don't have to do any soldering. You might just make some connections. If you follow this channel, by the way, you're going to learn how to do all that. It's really very easy. And then you will be able to run a distributed computer network bit by bit, step by step. Start simple and then work your way more complicated. Do something really, really easy, like if the bowl is out of water, turn a red LED on so I can look across the field and be like, oh, the trough for the cow, water is out. Got to go fill it. I could save myself an entire walk all the way over there. You add that walk up. Let's say it's a 5-minute walk. Add that walk up every day. 5 minutes every day. 360 times 5. That's a ton. That's a ton of time that you just saved by having a simple, is there water? If no, then LED on circuit. Have it solar powered. It's a single day project. And you'll learn a lot and you'll have a lot of fun doing it. That is the future, is learning how to become a producer of technology, not a consumer of it. Follow this channel, follow my locals especially, because that's where I'm going to put all these detailed instructions. I think we're going to have a little bit of a club going, of We're going to do one project, another project, and another project, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing and see if you can replicate it. It'll be a fun activity for everybody, and it'll give me a lot of great feedback on what information I need to include to really get you clued in on what's going on. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you're ready for it. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to bypass tons of college and just get straight to the meat of it and learn how to do stuff. That's what you really need to learn anyway if you want to get a job in the industry. Can you do stuff? Forget the diploma, forget the classes, forget the tuition, and come on and join me. All right, guys, I will see you later, and thank you so much.